In this video, captured November the 2nd, we're going to take a look at the Swannanoa River as it goes by Azalea Road, as well as Swannanoa River Road. My name is Dominic Tavernitti. I've been a resident of Black Mountain for 8 years with my family, and I've been capturing the impact as well as our recovery from Hurricane Helene. Let's flip over to a map to get oriented. Here in the west, you can see Asheville. And over to the east, we can see Black Mountain and Swannanoa. Where we're going to be focusing in this video is in this area right here. But before we get there, if you are interested in seeing footage from upstream Swannanoa River, I've captured videos as well looking at the Montreat Wilderness and Flat Creek, as well as the North Fork Reservoir and North Fork Swannanoa River, Beetree Reservoir, the area of Swannanoa, and most recently we took a look at Bull Creek and this area here. Okay, we're going to take a look at some footage that I had taken back on October 12th, and this is included in the video Swannanoa and Highway 70. I'll leave a link to it here. I'm picking up here with this other footage so we can make a tie between where we left off on this section of the Swannanoa River and to where we're going to be covering in the video today. So we're over the Super 8 motel. We can see there where the one of the buildings had been washed completely off the foundation. And you'll see when we cut to the November 2nd video, there isn't a tremendous amount of change. Where that excavator is collecting debris, those piles have been formed, but not much else has changed in this area. Now I'm going to accelerate us around the corner of the river here. You can see the train tracks there. Going to be on the left-hand side as the river kind of snakes through this area. You see lots of cars and trucks deposited along with the sediment in the riverbed here. Now this is Anchor Steam Power warehouse up here. We'll get a better view of that on the ground as we drive down Azalea Road East there towards the top of the screen. And what we're covering right now or going over is a sediment deposited over a driving range. Okay, so this is the footage most recently taken looking at the work that they're doing on Highway 70. We're facing east right now. And then turning the direction of the river flow. And in this bend, we are looking south, and then we'll turn to look west. So it's been about 38 days from the September 27th storm and flooding from Hurricane Helene. So as you can imagine, the progress on cleanup is relatively slow. Debris is being separated into various categories from oak couches and organic material to electronics, and so that this debris can be handled properly as our landfill is already reaching capacity. So we're turning down Azalea Road East right now. This is the driving range I'd pointed out from the drone footage. and get us around the corner a little quicker. And this is Anchor Steam Power here. Now let me go over to the map so we can take a closer look at exactly what we're going to be covering here. So this video started out taking a look at Highway 70 over Swannanoa River. Super 8 Motel is here, and we took a look at the river as it flowed this way. Now we've just turned down Azalea Road East, and we are going to drive this all the way down underneath the Blue Ridge Parkway and going by the dog park here. The road is closed between these 2 points. So after we take a look at this section, we're going to then drive down 70 and come down Swannanoa River Road and fly the drone, taking a look back in this direction and then taking a look down Swannanoa River Road this direction. And you can see all the debris that had been washed into that building there. It must be piled 10 to 15 feet high inside that building. And then this is looking back up the Swannanoa River Road right there at that access bridge over to Anchor Steam Power. As you can see, over a month later, there just isn't the capacity to deal with all of the debris and picking everything up in the area. And I'll advance this down the road a little bit faster here. There are certain points where there are just tremendous amounts of deposits, and everything can be in those piles from cars and buildings to even heavy equipment washing out of some of these factories. These piles to the left and right of the road is where sediment had been cleared out of the road. Those don't normally exist. You can see how much was deposited in this area. Now the overpass that we are approaching here is the Blue Ridge Parkway. You can see how much debris is built up against some of these structures. This bridge as well, while it's standing, it sustained quite a bit of damage. You can see all the cement lifted and cracked all the way across. Now in the distance there we can see Interstate 40. We're going to drive down Azalea a ways, and water was quite high in this area. I'd seen homes with some damage over to the right. You can see all the piles of debris that are getting collected in this field. And now we're going past the dog park. And I believe this is called Azalea Park. And then this here is where we get to where the road is closed. So then as we continue, we cut here. pointed west on Highway 70, taking a left onto Swannanoa River Road. While I was down here filming, I spoke to a couple that live in the neighborhood off to the right, going down the road here, and aside from some trees down, they fared well. They were high enough to be away from the water. They said they had come down on Friday of the storm and saw the water going through that area in the Swannanoa River. And now this is where Swannanoa River Road is closed. So I'm going to get out. I'll show some footage from the ground here, and then we'll take a look from the air. We're looking straight across at the rec park, as well as the nature center. And now we are looking west down Swannanoa River and Swannanoa River Road. And that is, that's the bear enclosure there at the nature center. I read their website. They said they did not lose any animals. They are all accounted for and healthy. Of course, they are not open because of all the damage here. In fact, that road going over this dam, you can see, is completely washed out. Now we're going to fly back down this section of road that is closed and take a look at the park and fields. City of Asheville, John B. Lewis soccer fields. It appears that the ground appears to be okay. You can see the grass under there. Quite a bit of sediment on the grass, of course. And I'm sure there's lots of structural damage to the buildings and infrastructure in this area. Let me pause and go over to the map so we can see what we're looking at here. First, let's take a look at the terrain. And one thing that's, I guess, worth noting about the flow of the river, as it gets to points where it is constrained either very tightly around the river or it opens up with a riverbed here, noticed a couple things happening. One, it jumps the banks and can spread out quite a bit. In some areas, that reduces the force of the river, and I've seen more structures survive. We're in this area here, where you can see that it's opened up quite a bit, allowing the river to spread out. Let's take a look at the satellite view, just so we can see what this area normally looks like. Now we're going to fly back around this way. We'll take a look at the Parks and Rec building here, and then come over and take a look at this bridge again. You see some repairs happening up here on this bridge and overpass, but the bridge appears to be, well, at least it's there. It doesn't appear to be broken. We'll take a quick look from this side. Perhaps the road had damaged the road on both sides of that bridge. Now this Parks and Rec building appears to be standing. Some of the supports are missing under here, so perhaps this building will be salvageable. It's really tough to tell. And you can see the high bank there on the other side of the road. So the river was forced to expand on this left side of the bank where it took out the road, part of that bridge, as well as some of the parking lot for the rec pool. I don't know the history of that dam or gate there associated under that bridge. Maybe somebody can leave a comment. It doesn't appear to have done too much in the past when it appeared to be in good working shape. I'm not sure what the purpose of it is. On the map, there's they call that section of water Craig Lake, but there isn't much of a lake there. Perhaps it was something historical and was no longer functioning. So we were flying west down Swannanoa River and Swannanoa River Road. You can see the road is entirely missing and is being rebuilt there. That's the Asheville Municipal Golf Course, as well as the MANNA Foodbank here in the middle of the screen, both of these warehouses. You can see that the Swannanoa River wraps around the back side of it, and the river fully engulfed it, covered the golf course, depositing a lot of sediment, and I'm sure doing a lot of damage to both of these buildings. And I believe these semi-trailers would be from that MANNA food distribution center there. So we're approaching the end of Fairview Road. And we'll take a look in a moment up that direction. You'd be going to Home Depot, Highland Brewing and such. Now, up in the distance, I can't tell exactly from here, perhaps this building where my cursor is pointing to is Aldi. As I understand, they have completely gutted that building. Also, we'll have a look much later in the video of Walmart up here. As I understand, the water came up so high, I believe it did a significant amount of damage, perhaps flooded the entire building there. And there are lots of stores. We're headed that direction. We are going towards the Asheville Mall, and ultimately down towards Biltmore Village. So the building we're looking at, so we're looking up Fairview Road. This area here used to be, I think it was a Toys R Us, then Gold's Gym, and I believe it's maybe, reference a map. It's the Biltmore Church East Asheville campus. And then in this shot, up on the hill, hidden in these trees, is Highland Brewing. And then here in the foreground is a NCDOT worksite. Now we are turning back east, and we can see the Blue Ridge Mountains up here. MANNA does a lot of great work in our region, helping to feed the homeless and the needy. It is a real shame that, especially with their mission of feeding people, that their facilities were damaged and appears to be taken completely offline during an event like this. I'd be interested in hearing how MANNA Foodbank reorganized and where they're operating. I have not seen them in Black Mountain and Swannanoa, where I've spent most of my time. Now, shortly, we're going to turn here to the right, and we will take a look at the Nature Center, as well as the rec pool. I believe when we get up here, we might be able to see some of the bears in the enclosure. I think if we take a look, I think these are the bears hanging out. If you haven't been, this is a wonderful facility. They've got a wide variety of animals there. And now we're looking at the rec pool. This is a great 50-meter lap pool, as well as an area for kids and grass to hang out during the day. Now I'm a swimmer, so I hope to see this pool come back online at some point. It's tough to say if it'll take a year or more than a year. They only operate in the summertime. I believe between June, July, and the end of August. So a pretty, or maybe into September. So a pretty narrow time frame. Now we're looking east, right down the Swannanoa Valley here. We're going to go up a little bit higher, and we're going to take a look around, and I'll point out some landmarks. Again, pointing east, we can see Interstate 40 and then Highway 70, and those two will roughly parallel each other down the Swannanoa Valley. Looking at the Blue Ridge and looking towards Mount Mitchell, hiding in the clouds. Right here towards the bottom of the screen is the VA hospital. We finished the last video going up and taking a look at Riceville Road and Bull Creek, and finished driving down where we intercepted Highway 70. Now we're going to turn to the left, kind of trace Highway 70 as it heads towards Asheville. We can see Highway 70 going under Interstate 240 here. This is the Asheville Mall. I mentioned Aldi and Walmart. This is Lowe's right here. Now the direction we're looking, the Swannanoa River heads this direction. It goes by, I'll miss a number of major landmarks, but off in the distance here is the Tobacco Barn. And then just after that, we are headed into Biltmore Village. Now, from my understanding, there's tremendous damage to all of the facilities going down this way. Let me switch over to a map one more time, and we'll take a look at this region. And we have seen what the Swannanoa River has done as it has collected water from all of the watersheds upstream. But there's still yet two more collecting, and these are subwatersheds dumping in right before the Swannanoa River heads towards Biltmore Village. So even more water gathering at that point. I understand this Lowe's has been completely gutted. One of our favorite Mexican restaurant, Oli Guacamoles, that was destroyed in Black Mountain on Flat Creek, have their another location just here on the other side of the bridge that was destroyed. And you may have seen some photos of U-Haul and the trucks floating and the devastation that is sitting right here along Swannanoa River Road as it goes under 240. Well, thank you for watching. If there are any places that you would like to see in more detail, please do leave me a comment. And if you would like to see other areas in more detail, some of the watersheds up the Swannanoa Valley, as well as down Highway 9, take a look at my channel. I'll leave some links to those videos as well. Thanks again.